So if one day I get a vibe and the vibe says talk, I might just go for it. You know what I mean? It's not so much being a singer or a DJ or whatever is under that hat or that umbrella. It's just about being free to express whatever and however I want.
Thanks so much. I guess I wanted to ask, we know who you are, we know your name, but if we can just rewind a little bit and let us know a little bit more from before you were an artist. Wow.
Mr. Garfield!
You're from Kingston in Jamaica, is that correct? Yes. And growing up, in your youth, what was it like in your community?
That's a very long story. Let me try to cut it short. Firstly, father was a soldier, grew up on a military base. Then I moved to Sherlock Crescent, Kingston, Jamaica. That's in Kingston 20. And it was from being in the safest environment to one of the most volatile environments at a finger snap. So you have to learn life and you have to grow up real fast and you have to be smart real quick. And then the exposure to music was a lot more heavy in Sherlock Crescent, and I think that's when my love for music grew to other levels. That's basically it. My older brother who passed away, rest in peace, tell us, just decided one day that we should be artists, and I said yes, and that's it. That's how Konshens came about.
Well, we're very glad that Konshens has come about. I guess with that, I've been to Jamaica many, many times, and I'm just in love with that place beyond belief. And there's one thing that I very much notice is that regardless whether it's through entertainment, so music, or through sport, or whatever the business profession may be, I notice that when people get to a certain point in their career where they are able to be a positive influence on the youth, they will make sure they do their thing. So I know Bounce like this in Stevie making sure certain things are taking place there. We've got Johan Blake and St. James making sure that he's doing what he can for his community, and the list goes on and on. So I guess I'm just wondering for yourself, now that you've been at a particular point in your career for quite some time, so are you working on any community passion projects at the moment, or is there anything that you can tell us about what you're working on as far as positive influence goes for the youth in Jamaica? Well, in Jamaica, in your community, but across the world also.
Many projects, like too much to even start to mention, from back to school, treats and giveaways, pay school fees, book drives, mentorship, a whole bunch of stuff, community, renovation, whole heap of things. Not just from my community where I'm from, but whichever community, you know what I mean? I don't think that's the rule, that somebody that achieves success has to give back or has to go out to where it's from and has to be a positive influence. I don't think that's the kind of pressure that they should force to somebody just because they're successful, but I think it's a good thing for anybody that does it, and I definitely encourage it.
Now just a quick cultural exchange. So you've been in Australia, you've got a few cities to get to. There are some very similarities between Australia and Jamaica. That is, we've got a lot of beaches and a lot of beautiful natural wonders. The biggest difference is that us in Brisbane here, we've got a population of about 3 million, which is like the population of your entire nation. So I'm wanting to know what your top 3 natural attractions of Jamaica are that you would be able to recommend for anyone who's wanting to go to Jamaica. Could I give you a... Yeah, you go first.
Can you even narrow down that list to 3?
What about
yeah, we can do 3, dude. Well, I couldn't say the beaches because everywhere I've been so far in Australia has been along the coast, and the beaches are beautiful. Women are beautiful. Food tastes good. The music vibe is good. The place hot. So I don't think there's that big a difference outside of the fact that it's the other side of the world. You know what I mean? So people people here, the only thing I can tell you about that you should experience in Jamaica that you probably will find different is the actual Jamaican energy. You know what I mean? From if you're a dancehall fan, dancehall in nowhere else in the world is like dancehall in Jamaica. The parties, the slums, the way the people look, the way the people move, the way the girls have dance, the energy is different. So definitely go to Jamaica and feel that for yourself. One day put that on your bucket list. Yeah, make sure you go to Jamaica and find.
Okay, swordfish.
Is it true that there is
Yeah, man.
that there is a
Breadfruit.
every night in Jamaica?
Yes, man, I dance every night, every single night. There's something happening somewhere. You know what I mean? And it just shows the love that people have for the culture of dancehall music. Not so much the government, but the people itself in love with dancehall music and the entire dancehall energy. From old school to our artists that just came out today, people love them.
And on artists for today or of today, could you, is there anybody up and coming in Jamaica that you could?
Every day, there's everyone.
Long list, another long list. Well, Jamaica has many long lists.
Next to that,
For way back collaborations, you know, you're going back to the versatility, you've done a lot of collaborations with different genres of music, and it always gels so very well. So I guess that just really adds to just your style, who you are, and as you were saying earlier, you know, about your expression, regardless of how it is. Your recent one with Enrique Iglesias, that was quite fun and youthful. The clip was youthful. Moving forward, like what direction do you feel like you could possibly go in? Is that give us some sort of idea, please?
As soon as I have the idea, I could give the idea. But for me, it's just, I love music from every genre. I've always been a big fan of music. Cross genres, artists, cross genre. You know what I mean? And I respect talent, wherever the talent is from. And then giants all over the world, I see them as giants regardless of where I'm from. So, you know, the respect, it is given and received. So, with that being said, the opportunities and the different directions that I might take are limitless. You know what I mean? I do music and wherever I feel like if this is the energy today, I can swing with it because, again, I don't live by the rules. And, you know what I mean? I don't care about, you know, coming off of the track a little bit. I can freestyle a little bit, you know what I mean? Come off of the track, come on back. I think I've done a lot to cement myself as a authentic dancehall artist, and I can experiment without fearing. Yeah.
Your tours, you know, you've gone to Africa, you've been in Europe, through the Americas, now you're, you know, Australia, through the Pacific here. Would you say that Africa has your largest fan base? I know you had a concert or show in Uganda that was like, you know, 10,000 plus in the audience. Would you say that that's your biggest show so far?
I think you understated. I think Uganda was about 70,000. Yeah, 35 inside, 35 outside. So big up all Ugandan people. Big up all Kenyan people, which I think Kenya is actually my largest fan base worldwide. Yeah.
For real.
Man, everywhere we're going to find some Kenyan somewhere and the man is showing up. And I mean, everywhere in Africa, there are a lot of countries in Africa that I haven't been in that I really want to go to. I won't name the list. I started that list, but you know, people always show authentic love. Love on steroids in Africa, and I love it, and I show the love right back.
I also just wanted to make mention of our other panel here. We've got Russ Jordan, who's you know, big up promotions. He's been very much on the scene in Brisbane, doing his thing and doing it consistently and properly this whole time. So thank you very much, Russ George, for all of your efforts. Just wanted to check in with you to see how things are going from your end as far as the promotions are going and just generally people in Brisbane, across Australia, however you may want to express that?
The vibe is here. This is where the vibe is. I think Brisbane has come a long way. When we started doing reggae dance events, big up to Basmati from 4ZZZ. Is one of those people who pioneered reggae dancehall music basically in Brisbane. Not only did he pioneer it, he maintained it, to be honest with you, for 20 plus years in Brisbane. So as for us, we came along the way when these guys had already started it, and we have found out that there's an improvement. There's been a huge improvement that, even for any international artist, if you don't come to Brisbane on your calendar, it's a huge mistake.
Thanks very much. I know Australia can be a little bit difficult, or even, not even just Australia, but other nations in the Pacific area, just in terms of visas and that. So it's not as though we're not looking for the artists to get here. Sometimes it's beyond our capabilities for shows we're cancelling that. So again, we're very, very grateful and so happy that you are in Brisbane, you're in Australia, you're here. I also understand you're making your way to Papua New Guinea, which is our neighbouring country just above Australia. So that is going to be another, well, I'm hoping another eye-opening experience there. I know some of your brethren have been there with Sean Paul and whatnot. Yeah, so I think they've really opened up a way there as well for other artists to make their way through. I guess in Brisbane we are quite a small little city. You will be performing here at the Tivoli, which is our oldest concert hall in Brisbane. It's heritage listed, I believe, and they've very much maintained the interior of the building because it is quite unique. So it has its own little historical ambience. It's a very cool spot to be, to be performing. So, in saying that, when you perform, I'll speak specifically for this tour. What is it that you are bringing to the performance to express? Is there anything specific that you would be expressing?
I would say many of the better performers, not just in dancehall music, I would say they have like I wouldn't say a standard, but I don't want to go back to the word rules again, but it's along those lines. Like, a good performer has certain characteristics and certain mannerisms on the stage and the way how they approach the show. For me, it's totally different, and we say that without any hesitation. For me, I think for you coming to a show and paying your money to come and see this artist that you love, I think you naturally have to be in the mindset that you're coming to enjoy yourself. And when I touch the stage, if the energy that I'm getting is not the energy that I was looking for, then if I'm trying to build that energy and I'm not getting it, I will just remind myself that I've already been paid, and I will go through the motions and get on the plane and go home. But if I come out and the energy is what I wanted, then I can guarantee you that every last cent that you spend to come into the venue will be worth it. That will be a night for you to remember. Never stay after and take all the pictures and interact. And, we brought professionals in the form of DJ Star and Dancer Queen, Eta Panika, things, people to make the show and make the entire experience one that you will remember. So don't live in the cell phones on that night. Don't want to record every single moment and enjoy the show through your phone screen. Try to put on the phone a little bit and feed into the show and remember that you spend money to come out and enjoy yourself, and let's all have fun.
So just a reminder to those to us in Brisbane that it is opening at 7:30, the doors, and Konshens will be at 7 o'clock and 9 p.m. will be the on-stage time. So please be on time, no African time, no Islander time, please. No, I'm serious here. We are on the biggest island in the world, but serious now, we don't need to take it to that level. So if we could be able to kind of really enjoy the vibes while we're there, you know, this is going to be an awesome evening. So show all of your support and love from the get-go. From 7 p.m. we're expecting you there. Now, Australia, so we all speak English. No, but I tell you, Jamaica has some slangs that got me just in trouble at points in time, and Australia has some colloquialisms and slangs that sometimes I think, wow, what are we saying? Yeah. So I just want to run through a couple and check to see if you might know what we would be expressing. Is that okay?
All right.
Yes. So we often would like to say, she'll be right, mate.
She will be what?
She'll be right, mate.
She will be right, mate.
Yeah, would you be able to, if someone said it to you, what would you think that
Depends.
was?
Depends. Like the context and depends on
Okay.
the situation.
So you are at the shopping centre and a man trips over, stubs his toe, and you ask, are you okay? She'll be right, mate.
That's what he says. This is saying, yeah, he's alright.
Yeah, basically.
He says she will be alright.
So it can be used to describe anybody, anything. It doesn't even have to be a person. She'll be right, mate, is basically things are going to be okay. But for some reason we refer to everything as she. She will be. And just next one I think we often tend to use is stone the flame. No, I won't say we often use this. There is maybe one specific person in Australia that uses this, but it has spread across the nation. Stone the flaming crows. Stone the flaming crows.
Clueless.
Clueless? Would it be fair to say that this is said when you cannot, when you're in disbelief that something has happened, like stone the flaming crows, like get them out and experience that. Where does it come from? We're not sure, but it is.
Everybody uses these slangs.
Well, I won't say everybody uses them, but there's certainly ones that are specific to Australia.
Tell that to all the foreigners when they come, right?
Now, I also wanted to introduce Yusuf on our far left, and also Slicker. Now, these guys have they've been in the industry. I'm just wondering if you'd be able to tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Slicker. I come from Zimbabwe, but I've been in Australia for about 11 years, and I started doing music about 4 or 5 years ago now. And so we just in Zimbabwe we also have our dancer, which is called Zimbabwean dancer, but also often here and there I do my thing in patois because it's our culture is actually kind of borrowed from Jamaican. The way we make our beats, the dances and kind of thing, it's almost similar. So here in Australia, we've just been pushing the dance out because, you know, it's a genre that's growing, it's everywhere in the world, people love it, and we're representing it here on an international level as well.
It's pretty amazing, you know, Jamaica is a small nation, but its influence across the world is really quite incredible. And you know, I wonder how it is that, you know, such a small country can have so much impact. Do you think it's just the actual passion that people have in Jamaica to just be able to, once they're in something, they just immerse themselves and just want to spread the love out? Do you think that would be a fair?
I think it's the sauce. I mean, the sauce. The sauce? Yeah, that's what, yeah, the sauce. Like, I think it's just a different flavor, you know. I could be in an outfit and somebody else from another country is in the same outfit, but it just look different. I could sing a song and somebody else from another country sing a song and it just sound different. So I don't know. I'm no longer amazed about encountering Jamaican culture out in the world. I'm just happy. And I mean, I've seen it everywhere. This is like the last place on the list to tick. and I've seen it, and I've seen the power of it. So I'm just happy, and I'm glad that people can be anywhere and everywhere in the world, and just feel the love from my country, and to even see actual cultures being born from Jamaican culture and dancehall culture. That's something that I'm continuously happy about. Yeah.
And Yusuf, I just wondered if you'd be able to tell us a little bit about yourself also.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Yusuf Obaka. I'm based in Melbourne. The Prince Entertainment basically is the promoter for this particular event for Konshens. The idea basically is for us to create a different approach, not only to bring artists down here, which is far away. We're basically supposed to be the first world, but somehow we are the last world. So we try our best to bring artists as far, as wide as we can, and we've been doing that for quite some time now, for close to about 12 years. So what we try to do is basically bring in the best artists based on what the trend is within the community itself. Our focus mostly is in the black music industry, from Africa to Jamaica to the US. Well, basically last year we also brought in the largest, the biggest gospel singer, Sinach, also to Melbourne, New Zealand, everywhere we told them. So what we do basically is to make sure that the emerging community, like the African community, has the opportunity to see everything they can see apart from what they see on YouTube. So we create that reality for everybody. So Brokoff, which is one of the biggest music played in most of our nightclubs, was something that came up last year when we were sitting down in the club, and we said, I think it's time for Konshens to come down so that people can see Konshens without the YouTube experience itself. So we try to make things in real form at all costs we can. So people can actually see Australia as a place where everything is possible, even though the distance is quite far. Thanks.
Now we will take some questions from our audience here. So if there's anybody who wanted to ask anything before we start to tie things up, did you have any questions? Yeah.
Is it on? Yeah. Hi, Konshens. Well, I just wanted to start by saying I'm your biggest fan. My favorite from you was Mad Me. Like I listen to that almost every time I turn up. It's like my alarm. Like I have to. So I just wanted to ask in terms of the vibe with your Australian fans, because I've been seeing on Instagram like you've been posting at the concerts and like the videos have been going everywhere. What do you think? Like, were you expecting like so many African Australians to be there at your concert supporting you the way we are? Like,
My mind was open. I mean, like I said before, I wanted to approach a different area with something already in my mind that sets me up for disappointment, or it kills the whole shock value for me. You know what I mean? And I was pleased. I was pleased to find so many African people, and I was pleased that Australian people were so much intertwined with dancehall, and they know what go on, and know the moves, and know the songs, and you know what I mean, and the energy. You know, so it's been good so far, really good.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is, where does the inspiration for your music come from?
Same place where it comes from most artists, I would say, just life. You know what I mean? Whether things that I've been through or things that I've seen others go through. And just the vibe, different things happening, and for every situation there's a song or a few songs. So it's just up to the artist to tap into these different situations and express them accordingly.
And if you had any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
To my younger self,
Yeah.
chill out, relax, stop being so uptight.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is, what is the best song you ever released? Your main favorite song?
The first song or the best? The best?
Yes.
Wow. On Mondays and Tuesdays, it's the realest song. Keep on buying out of my heart. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I would say Beautiful, a song that I just did a few days ago about girls loving themselves and not feeding into Instagram beauty. Girl, you're beautiful. I want it. On, did I say Thursday? On Fridays and Saturdays, broke off your back. But this make me feel like it. On Sunday, we don't fright nothing, nobody. No boy, nobody that way. No boy, nobody that way. I know I got a long talking to. So for me, like, and then the next week is probably a different set. So I don't have one song and say, oh, this is my best song, because the mood for me is like every day I'm a different person where mood is concerned, just like you. And my songs are just according to my mood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
I just wanted to ask you, I know dancing is a big thing in Jamaica, and I know sometimes dancers can hurt themselves or injure themselves. So what happens when a dancer injures themselves? Do they get compensated?
By who? Good question. No, strangely enough, I have never witnessed an actual injury to a dancer. Look, strange and luckily, no. I don't know if there's a system in Jamaica for injured dancers to be compensated. I cannot speak on that matter. But rest assured, and to everybody who's watching right now, everybody here streaming or going on our stream, and people are saying all over the world, you can rest assured that these dancers are professionals. Don't get the impression that every girl in Jamaica, every man can do these things. These are actual professionals, and they know what they're doing, they know the risks that they are taking. So do not try it in your living room and expect immediate results. Alright? Yeah.
Hi, how are you doing? Just wondering, now that you've established yourself as a legend in the dancehall arena, have you looked at other genres that you say you want to prove yourself, like with the rise of Afrobeats, which is heavily influenced by dancehall? Have you seen any like Afrobeats artists that you want to work with as well?
Every genre. But I think the first statement, your opening, me establishing myself as a legend, I don't think that I've done that yet. I think I've done great work over the years, but I've quite some way to go to be a legend. So I work on that still. And as far as genre is concerned, for me it's just freestyle, you know, wherever the music leads, that's where I'm going to follow.
Sorry, I have another question. What do you think makes you unique from other Jamaican dancehall artists?
What do you think makes me unique?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, a nice spot, right? Like, I don't know. I've never looked at myself and asked myself the question, what do I think to be different? What's different about Konshens? I think that's something that I want to hear every person's opinion. You know what I mean? I want to hear what you say about it. I want to hear what put you in the red top, this lead in the camouflage, and you didn't feel like, well, I want to hear what everybody thinks about what makes me different or what makes me the same. You know what I mean? For me, it's just, I go back to the word rules again. I just don't deal with the rules, and I don't really care about what people will say if I try something or if I'm not doing what everybody else is doing, or I'm doing what everybody else is doing today. You know what I mean? For me, it's just freestyle, and it's fun to hear what people have to say.
Did we have any other questions?
Yeah, yes, we are running a little bit out of time, but also, guys, is it's not summarizing it. Coming from me, from here, Russ George, as the promoter of the Brisbane show, as part of the team of the promotion. I'll say to you, man, thank you very much for coming to Brisbane, and thank you for coming down under. So the first question, maybe probably from me, is: would you be interested to come back again? Definitely. So that's very good. So, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, remember everyone watching in Brisbane, the show is starting from 7 o'clock till midnight. There is no after or 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, so be there on time, or you were not told or anything. And the show from now, I think they are going to Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, for a show on Friday, and then they'll come back to Brisbane again on Saturday for the Brisbane show, and then end up in Melbourne. So for the Brisbane people, the tickets are still available. Ticketmaster.com.au. Just go there and get your tickets, because when you come on the door, I'll guarantee you the price would have gone up, or the show is almost getting sold out. So it's time we move in and try to get those tickets as soon as we can. And I encourage everybody to bring the vibe. As you said, you give him good energy, you give you a good show. So it's a give and take situation. And I hope to see everybody happy and joyous on Saturday.
Yeah, after party or something? Yeah.
Our flight is 4:20.
Yeah, as you can see, there are things which will be told at the venue. Yeah. You know, if there's an after party, you'll be told. If there's no after party, you'll be told. So some of these things we can't say them now, and some of these things we can't plan them. You see, because remember, it's a Saturday night, and Brisbane all nightclubs will be full. So we are working on something. If it doesn't happen, then everyone will be able to know. But at the moment, there is no after party at the moment. So if you want to come and see Konshens, you might as well just come to the venue, because we don't guarantee that there is or there isn't. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. And once again, Konshens, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us. And thank you as well to Ariel and also to Sal. Thank you guys very much. So again, see you guys on Saturday evening, and make your way to...
Let me say thanks to all the dancehall fans globally. You know what I mean? Whether you're from Australia, or you're from Africa, or you're from the Caribbean. You don't know. People that show love to my culture, I definitely show love back to them. So big up to yourself. Big up to yourself. It's a promoter. Yeah, man, take all the risks. Big up to Ariel from Solid Agency. Yeah. And big up to yourself too. You don't know. We are sharing the show. So, what time? 7 o'clock doors open. I'll be on stage at what? 9? Until whenever. Right, so big up.